Sacrificed a bunch of creatures. This is so old. If you guys are wondering, no, the quality doesn't get any better at all. Who's this fool? Who is this fool? I use the power of dandruff. Oh my gosh, that was promotional material for Ice Age. Play it as a standalone game or as an expansion. That's nuts. Homelands was a really bad expansion. Sarah Angel versus Minotaur. Little magic never hurt. Chuck's ball. Acid trip.
Meaning a mere tool of Baron Sengir.
Hey, I'm a tool.
Carry a nice dwarven-made sword, however. An ancient and powerful vampire, but not an evil guy, really. He just knows what he wants and won't stop till he gets it.
Nah, he's not very evil. He's just, a vampire. He knows what he wants, though.
There's much
He wants
more to
big,
the new
titty
world
anime
than
women.
a world.
New story. It's the Mirari! I know nothing about its lore. At all. Oh, my dreams come true! I get a pony! In Odyssey. Lorwyn! I loved Lorwyn. Lorwyn was awesome. It brought good cards. Good cards. This is 2 years before I started playing. Hi, Gideon.
My name is Gideon.
I know.
I found others who could
the
travel
girl.
between worlds,
It's the girl.
whose beliefs conflicted with my own. I was humbled by their power and I've done the one thing my opponent could never do.
Come. Belzenok? Maybe? I don't remember the demon's names.
Thraben's wall as others, sensing the inevitable, give themselves freely.
That's hot. You gotta admit, that's hot. Yeah. Oh, Midnight Guard! One of my favorite
Once
cards!
the shadows claim
ever.
the last of them.
Their rot lies under the surface. For now.
Canonically,
As for
Jason
reason,
Vraska
the
fuck.
mad
I'm just
thinkers,
saying.
Ravnica's
Hate to
frenzied
spoil it.
engineers.
My game, my colors, my guild. It is my guild. Alright, that's kind of cool. But story time about the Dimir Guild, alright? Did you know that they subconsciously plant in every single Dimir Guild member? They basically wipe their brains so that they subconsciously know where the base is, but every time they get there, they re-wipe their brains so that they never know the official way to get to the Dimir Guild, and that's how they keep their headquarters a secret. All right? So the Dimir are never in the exact same spot, kind of, so that no matter what, you never know where they are. It is impossible to find the Dimir. That is so freaking cool, all right? They literally gaslight you into not knowing where your own home base is and will wipe your memory just to make sure that you don't get there. And it's so cool. It's so cool. I love Ravnica. I love the lore. It's the lore intensive. All right, so lore time. All right, so the maze inside of Ravnica, basically, if you traverse the whole maze, you then become the guild pact. You are now the leader of all the guilds, and Jace was the only one to ever do it. All right, but then he realized that he was not capable of doing it, but like by himself, because of how much he was fighting with, Nicol Bolas and other things, because he couldn't always be on Ravnica. So he gave the guild pack to Niv Mizzet, who was one of the only remaining leaders of the guilds that were still around. So then Niv Mizzet then became the new whatever, and you'd think like, oh well, he'd have, he'd have preferences towards Izzet and all that. Kind of, not really, but then also in the lore, Nicol Bolas gets a hold of him. Tezzeret's helping him with that too. But Niv Mizzet also had a plan. So whenever he died, he then gets into a basically a giant metallic version of himself, and then could keep doing what he's doing and be the Guild Pact even when he dies. But eventually he gets reborn, which is how you get Niv Mizzet reborn. He's still the guild leader, but is now all 5 colors. I don't know everything about his lore. I just know that Ravnica's fun. Ravnica's cool. The Dark Year is when I started.
Ruled by cows.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Oh, wow. Like that. Oh, this was the golden era is what it was. I loved these sets. Dragon's Tempest.
With dragons.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh. I love dragons. Dragons are like so cool. They suck in Commander unless you're playing the Ur Dragon, but I'm just saying. That's cool. Alright. Alright, nerd time. Alright, so Chandra Nalaar. Alright, her origin story was basically she was a pyromancer, obviously, but in their world, I forgot what world it was. It Kaladesh? Was it in Kaladesh? I don't remember. But in order for them to judge if you were pure of heart, you had to step into the white flame, all right? And the white flame up to that point had basically incinerated everybody because nobody was pure of flame or pure of heart. So they sent Chandra in there because she did a little bit of a bad. So they sent her in. She went in there, and immediately it wasn't hot. It felt cool to her touch, and that's what ignited her planeswalker spark, and then she burned the place to the ground. All right, that's cool. All right, it's kind of cool. And then she planeswalked away and this and that, whatever. But she didn't go back to her plane for the longest time because she thought she was gonna be she thought nobody was gonna like her because obviously she burned down this giant building and sought vengeance upon authority and all that. Turns out she got back and everybody liked her, like, a lot. Like, even her mother was still there. It was just awesome, and she loved it. And then she led the Aether Revolt. So, was that in the same... Was her home planet Kaladesh? I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. But it might be. It might. You never know. You never know. Crypto is right. Oh. There used to be a joke in my play group that I played Cryptolith Right all the time. So literally anytime somebody was like, what's Cryptolith Right? I'd be like, Cryptolith Right is a 2-mana enchantment that has creatures you control if tap add 1 mana of any color in your mana pool. Still got it. Love that card. Card sucks in most decks. But in something like Raga Draga or something, turn all your stuff into a... They attack, they get +2/+2. It's pretty good.
Victory is for the strong. And the strong are willing to embrace the darkness.
Insta nut.
This is my domain.
Oh,
So
your
find
domain can be
the
my
center.
penis. I still have the pin from this. I'm pretty sure I know where the pin is. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure the pin is right back here. Oh, hold on. Oh. Eldritch Moon pre-release pin, baby. Oh. Proof that I went to this pre-release. I love this set. All right. I mean, it was my first ever pre-release, so that gives you a little hint as to how much I love it. So yeah, my first ever pre-release was Eldritch Moon. And I pulled an Emrakul the Promised End and a Coax from the Blind Eternities, right? And I didn't think... So whenever it said, get a card from outside the game, I didn't realize that meant exile. Or your sideboard. So I played the game with an unsleeved foil promo, Emrakul the Promised End. Scratched it up a bit. I still have the card, but I tried to sell it like last year, and they were like, "You don't want to sell this. You won't get anything for it." And I went, "No." So I was stupid. So remember, kids, sleeve your deck. You know what? Sleeve everything. Honestly, anything that has some value whatsoever, sleeve it. Trust me, from one player to another. Sleeve your deck like you sleeve your deck.
You are a planeswalker.
That I am. Watch. See? Just planeswalked.
This is cruel territory now.
I love Domri Raid. Why did he have to die? Alright, so. Story time about Ashiok, alright? Ashiok is neither him or her, for one. Also, nobody knows where Ashiok came from. They just kind of exist. And they don't actually have, like, a story. At all. Ashiok just is. Ashiok is and will always be kind of deal. Ashiok is one of the coolest characters in all of Magic just because they're an enigma. They should not exist, but they would always exist. And they don't really have a motivation, in a way. They just are, which is awesome. I love Nahiri's story, by the way. I read the whole thing. Did you guys know that Nahiri was friends with a mountain? Alright? That was one of her only friends for the longest time. She found this mountain who was really lonely and was the only mountain who could talk. Right? So she sat there and talked to the mountain. And she's one of the oldest. Nahiri is one of the oldest planeswalkers in the story. Alright, by the way. So she found this mountain and said that she would always come back and talk to the mountain. Alright? So every so often she'd come back and talk to this mountain. Bring it other rocks and stuff from other planes, and she always promised she would always come back and bring more and more rocks until eventually she came back. All right? And she forgot to come back for a really, really long time. And there was a tribe there, and she came up to the tribe and was like, "Hey, I'm here to see this mountain." And the tribe was like, "Oh, we were told that if somebody ever comes back with this mountain, we were told to give her this, to give them this message." And the message was basically the mountain saying that they were glad that she came and talked to it, and that was glad to actually have a friend. So while she was there, she was trying so hard to talk to this mountain, and the mountain had died in a way. So then she actually became friends with this family that was there, and actually got to help watch one of the kids grow up. Yeah, she kind of forgot about that too, because it's kind of part of her story. So she kind of forgot. And then years later, whenever this kid was all grown up, she was like, "I will always remember you. I knew from the moment I saw you who you were." And it's just such a good story. I would highly recommend going and reading that story. It's called Soul and Stone, I believe. Just read all of the graphic novels. They're just really cool. All right, story time. All right, Tibble in the story. All right, his upbringing was basically he was a little bit of a bitch. All right, he was a little shitter. All right, and he was constantly kicked around, all that. And in order for him to become a planeswalker, he basically made a deal with, I believe it was a demon, to become a devil, all right? And basically just wants to see pain and death to other people for his own amusement. He does all this pain, torture, death, all this, just because he enjoys it. That's it. That's really his whole story. He just goes around killing people just because he can. Just because, I'm bored. I want to kill somebody. And that is Tibble. That's literally all Tybalt is. So, another story time, all right? The reason why Teferi said that he was trying to protect Dominaria is because this, like, major city that he was in, the Teferi's protection, actually, the card itself, the art, actually explains it, kind of. What it basically does is exactly like what the card does, is he basically blinked it out of existence because of the initial Phyrexian invasion, and he basically was like, I'm just gonna wait until the Phyrexians stop or leave, whatever. And then he realized that the plane itself kind of was glitching out in a way because it wasn't there, and the actual city itself was kind of dying because it was trapped inside of not the right place. So he tried to fix it by putting everything back. Problem is that just like the card, you've bought yourself time. You have not fixed the problem. So if at any point it becomes that bad, once you come back, you're still in a bad spot. And that's what happened with Dominaria. He never actually fixed the problem. He actually didn't make it worse. He just lessened the impact, just made sure that the Phyrexians didn't start to control Dominaria. And then the people kind of hated him for quite some time, because you saved him from the invasion, but you also kind of destroyed most Dominaria in the process. It's really fascinating story, because, yeah, Teferi just kind of went, well, I'll fix the problem. Blinky out of existence for a little while. And then when he finally was like, oh, wait, I did the thing. I should probably go back and check it. He came back and was like, uh-oh, I made a boo-boo. Yeah, that's really cool. Really cool story. I'll admit, I'd smash. I know. I want to fuck the robot girl. Whatever. I mean, that was it. That is, up until now, every single Magic trailer that has been released. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you guys made it all the way through, please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video.